Morning everyone.
Afternoon.
Well, afternoon, I always say that because I'm used to Gavin doing this here. That's the thing. Morning, afternoon, evening and good night. I've covered all options. So if you're on, please say hello so I know you're on, and then once we got about 10 viewers, 10 watchers, I'll actually start doing something then. So how is everybody that's joining? There's 2 watching so far. Is there anybody there? Is there anybody there? I think everybody's out in the garden watching. Morning everyone, afternoon. Morning, afternoon, 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 afternoon.
It's on.
Hi Beth. Hi Yvonne. Anybody else?
Who did you share it with?
Hi Dawn.
Who you shared it in the international group?
See my hands and moving mad, wiggling it. How is everybody? Hi Donna. Hi Gavin. Sat right next to me. So but there he is. Hi Helen. Afternoon. Right. So can I have a little chat now? Hi Carolyn. Have a little chat about what's in this magazine first of all, and then I'm gonna show you the cards in a little bit more detail, and then we'll go into how to make it. So if people on the list for this magazine, if you usually have the magazine with us, then please do go online and order it. And for anybody who does want any of these, we have ordered more than we normally do, about double what we normally do. Hi Janice.
Who's the bed song? Bed was on, wasn't she?
Yeah. So if you are on the list, our normal list for this, then please go online and order it, because we don't want you to miss out on this, because that's the only way you've actually put in your magazine ready to go. Otherwise somebody else could come in on the website and nick your copy out of the ones we've got. Okay, but we have got double the amount we usually order, because I knew I was going to be using them today.
Ooh, got subtitles now.
Ooh, Donna's cooking some homemade fish cakes. Hi Deborah. Right, so this is Crafter's Inspiration issue 26. It's usually they used to have discs and stuff like that in it, but they've actually got an area in the magazine now where you can actually, gives you an area to go and you can actually download them to your computer or stuff like that. So there's all sorts of different things in here. So how to use your dies and everything within magazines, your stamps and everything like that. Okay, so it's loads of stuff in here, colouring kits we've got in work, all sorts of different things. So I'm not going to go all the way through this, but that's your little magazine. Okay, so there's a few little cards in here that you can also do, but I'm doing my own version today. Okay, so that's the magazine, and it comes in a box. You also get some backing papers. Marvellous. I know you've ordered yours, Deb. Thank you. I know she's showing off, Bev. Hi, Michelle.
Well, Deb didn't order it.
So that's there. Then you get a die, which is that. So you get this, you got a thanks and a you, but if you cut the S off for thanks, then you can do thank you, or you can just use thanks. And then you got this die here, and I'm going to show you how to use that today. Then you get, which cuts out lovely, cuts out like that. So it's a nice, very fine, die cut. It cuts out lovely. I've not a single trouble cutting it. So you got that. Then you get a herringbone embossing folder, and then you get a set of some stamps, which I'll show you some of them later. I'll stamp the whole sheet on a bit of white and show you what they all look like. But to get started, this is one of the cards that I've made. Bring it up closer, and I'm going to wiggle it a bit towards the light and away from the light, just to see if you can see that little sheen on it. So I don't know if you can. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, there we are. You can see the sheen when I tilt it forward to the light. So that's that one. And I've also done a blue one as well. And again, you can see there's a bit of a sheen to all that as well. Okay, so obviously that's the two I've done there, but I'm thinking of doing one with a yellow rose for this one, but I'm going to use the same technique that I've used with the blue and the pink. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, I'm taking a 300 gram, hi Daniel. Yes, it's live, Daniel. You've got it right this time. You're not going to be talking, you're not going to be sending us messages outside of the live. But good afternoon to you. Bananda Cariad, Shut my Delia. I just said hello, lovely. How are you? And that was Adelia. Hey, Teresa. So I've just folded a card in half, and that's A4 folded in half. So I just scored it at 15, and then my bigger half is my front. So that's that done. And then we're gonna get started with, so I'm gonna get my trimmer out. I'm gonna put my extension bit on. And I'm going to take a piece of watercolor card, and I need this piece of watercolor card. So it's watercolor card. So I'm cutting this piece to 13.5 centimeters by 19.5, and I'll explain why this is a lot smaller than what I usually do my matin layers. Is because I'm going to be putting that little wiggly border around the edge, and I'll show you how to do that as well as we go through. So this is my 13.5 centimeters by 19.5 centimeter card, and this watercolor card. You can use a card that can take water but not watercoloring card, but I use watercoloring card because it's easier. And I'm just taking a spritzer bottle with some water, and this is just plain O2 from the tap, and I'm just sort of saturating my card a bit. Okay, and in one of my little paint pots here, this is gold, That's my mix of yellow and green, yellow and blue. And this is red and this is black. Now the red and the black is dried, but I can rejuvenate that by wetting it. And these are pixie powders. You can use mica powders and you can use inks as well. So I'll tell you about, I'll take a piece of card later and show you how to do that as well. So what I need for this is my yellow. So I know we haven't got many of the pixie powders in stock, but if you do want any particular colours that you see me using, so I'll tell you the colours. It's sun yellow is the yellow I'm doing now. I'm just putting a little bit of powder in there, and I'm going to take a water bottle, which I've just got, it's just a squeezy bottle, it's just a fine nozzle. Just going to add some water into that. And then if I bring that up into the light there, and I swirl it, you should be able to see all that lovely mica moving around in it. Okay, so that's that. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to, because I don't want my card to, the colour to run too much, I'm actually just taking my brush, and remember I've soaked this card. And yes, this is quite vibrant at the moment. I'm just going to wet that bit of card here because it's gone dry a bit. So your card does need to be wet for this. And then I got a bit of kitchen roll here that is the end of the roll. I'm just tapping the colour off, and then I'm going to go into my gold by here because I want a bit of gold in this background as well. Even though I'm doing red, yellow roses, do want to add an extra little bit of colour into this area. I'm just dabbing it onto the wet, and it's actually spreading out itself then on the wet card. Okay, and do I put anything else on there? I could wipe that off there. If I wanted to now, I could even add just a touch of the teal. Just dab it around a bit. And that'll do. I'm happy with that. So I'm now going to put that to the side a minute. I'll take that there. If you want to spritz it and get it to move around a bit more, this is what you do. You spritz that around, and then I'm going, because I don't want it to be too vibrant because it's a background, I could take another piece of watercolour card and splatter that on top, and then I would get 2 pulls from it. But I'm actually going to take my kitchen towel and just dab it, and you can see all those colours coming through on that kitchen towel. And you can use these kitchen towels on, once it's dry, I could actually put that and glue that onto a glass bottle, so it's a colour background. But that is now my nice light colours. And then I've got a white pearl pixie powder, which I have actually placed some powder into the bottom of my one of my spritzer bottles, and I've sort of half filled it with water, and I'm just giving it a lovely shake, and you can see all that mica moving around in there. And that's all I'm going to do. Just going to spritz all that card so it'll keep the colour, but what it's going to do now is I'm going to dry this white pearl one, which is mixed with water. That's all you've got to do. I can leave that white pearl with the water in that bottle, and the mica will settle in the bottom, but I'll just give it a shake or roll it in between my 2 hands, and then that will actually become a mica water spritzer again. So I'm just drying that mica, and then I can show you then what it looks like. And I've spritzed it quite a bit because I know that I wanted quite a bit of that mica to show. So that's all pixie powder is mica really. It's just some of them are coloured with tints, I'm just getting it as dry as I can so that I can lift it, and then I'll dry it properly here. So how is everybody today? You all okay? While I'm drying this, a little chat with it while it's drying, because I need to dry it properly. I'll take a little bit of water off the end there. I'm just drying it, and I can see where it's wet, so just moving it around so it dries. A bit wet on the corner. Just dabbing on my kitchen towel when I move it out of shot. So as I'm drying that, I don't know if you can see the shimmer and the sheen on it. I will bring it closer to the camera and move it now. But I think you can see it. I'm just going to dry on back, and as you can see, I was playing with my watercolours on the back. Doesn't matter. If you've used the back of it, you can use the opposite side of your watercolour card. That's not a problem at all. I'm just going to dry that, and I'm making sure that it's dry enough so that when I stamp on this now, it's not actually going to bleed out the stamp image. So I'm just doing that, and that feels nice and dry, so I can turn off my heat gun. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to take that same bit of kitchen towel and wipe off the mica that's now on my mat that's dried, and then I can hold up. So I'll hold this up to you now. I'll wiggle it in there. Hopefully you can see the shimmer on that. Okay, so that is now dry, and yes, it's a bit wobbly, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a nice sheen on that. So that's what the white pearl does. So you can dab your inks all over the place, just your normal inks, and actually just have the white pearl, and that would actually do that for you. Or you could actually have mica. If you've got mica powders, you can just put mica powders in the bottom of your spritzer bottle, because I know some of you may have some of them from yours. So that is that. And now I'm just going to take one of the stamps from the magazine. So there's, let me just put that up there. There's a girl, there's balloons, there's a little flower, there's little parcels, birthday cake, little hat and stuff like that. So I could do a collage of different ones. I've used the balloons on all the other ones, so I'll stick with that just so that they're all roughly in the same way, so you can see them. Just going to take an acrylic block. So we do our own acrylic slims now, but I haven't actually got a set of them because I've got a set of something else from years ago. So I'm using this, and I'm now going to use, I'm going to see if my yellow comes out first. So this is a yellow ink pad. Let's see if that yellow comes out. Yeah, it does. So there we are. So I'm actually using the water reactive lemon tonic, but you can use the, I think there might be a lemon tonic or a yellow in the opaque ones that we've all just had in, which are 37 of those ones. So you can do that. So they're all different colours in there. That's all I'm doing is just, I'm sort of stamping them in sort of a line, but then I'm trying to adjust and stamp the odd different way on the next lot. And this is just as a slight background, so it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just to get some design into the background, and this background is going to get more of a design in a minute as well, because I'm actually going to emboss it. Okay, going off the edge of the page as well, and I'll bring this up a bit now so you can actually see it properly. And go up there. I don't know if that's close enough for you to see. So that is my background. I'm just going to put a little bit of balloon coming off the end there and on my corner there, so it makes it look a bit fuller. Lovely, there we are. So I'm happy with that now, so I'm going to lift that up to you. and show you that. So you can just see it's like a yellow shaded sort of balloon design on there. And I'm going to take this then and just give it a wipe with the same wet tissue I had earlier on, just because it's a small stamp. No point me using my big cleaner for that. And I'm going to pop that back onto his carrier sheet. Don't know if any of you have shared this yet, but if you can, that would be lovely as well. And you know, I had this with my brush earlier on, moving things around, just wetting that with some water and brushing onto my kitchen towel to clean that up a bit, because we'll need that to be nice and clean a bit later. And I'm just using my kitchen towel to dry a bit. So this is now all done. And I'm now going to give it another little blast a bit. So I don't want any of that ink now to come onto my embossing folder. So just doubly making sure that it's all dry. And it's curling like anything at the moment. And any card will do that when you start putting water and heat on it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go down the back. I know I shouldn't have used that really for a demo, but saves wasting a bit of card. So there we are. So the embossing folder, it's our, how are you? Afternoon. So with this embossing, that is the herringbone pattern. Okay, that's the herringbone pattern. And if I put, so basically I'm going to show you on the colour side of this. If I bring my card, I loaded it, there's a line there. If I put my card right on that line so I can't see that line anymore, and it's in between the pattern, and then I close that folder with my stamped and inked side down onto the colour side of the folder. And what I'm going to do then, I'm going to put that through my embossing machine. And so you can use any of your machines for this. So my lovely assistant is going to put that through there. Okay. So Gavin's actually putting it through my grand caliber. Okay, and then I'll show you. So I'm cheating a bit. I've actually got a grand caliber squashy mat, which I've cut in half, and I've actually got a big shot plate, and then I'm using the grey plate because I haven't got a half plate in the white shim one. That's why I'm using, or the purpley one, the pinky one, purpley one. That's why I'm just grab that one, because it does work as well. And then that gives it a herringbone texture as well, and that flattens your card out as well. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the other side in, and I'm going to cover that line again, and I'm going to close that. And when I put this through now, I'm going to put that there. I'm going to bring the folder to the edge of the plate, like that, with my card hanging over the edge. And then I'm going to put my rubber mat to the edge of the embossing folder, and then I put my plate on the top like that. And Gavin will put that through the machine again for me. So is everybody okay? Oops, I think that's Gavin's gone too close to the right hand side of the machine, so the plates went all a bit and creaky as it went down the side. So there we are. So now I've got a herringbone pattern right throughout, and that is all the embossing. So you can see that now, but there's all that pattern there. See that pattern, all right? Sometimes it's,
Yeah.
lovely. So that's my texture. So don't be afraid to ever ink your papers, dry them, stamp on them first, and then put them through an embossing folder. You get in sort of 3 layers of something then. So you produce in a background, then you put a nice stamped image within it, so a nice background stamping, and then once that's dry, then put it through an embossing folder. Who's to say you can't use 3 different textures within a background? So that is actually my background. So that's lovely. Okay, so that's put to the side. And then I've already cut out 3 of the dies, which is this die that came with it. As you can see, I've still got some black bits of card in this one. So I just thought I'd show this little mat and the little brush. I've got the X-Cup one, but we actually do the, because I've had this a while. But we do the Gemini version of this, and I think it's on the link that's at the bottom. Oh, Gavin hasn't put a link at the bottom. Anyway. So Gavin's actually doing a link at the bottom. So that the things that I'm using today, so I'm just rubbing across it gently with a brush. And what that's doing is just taking all the little bits out of the die, and then that just leaves me with the pattern within the die, like that. And then this piece then I can take to my bin to the side and flick it, and then all my pieces are off there as well. So that's nice and clean. Okay, but I didn't want to do all 4 of them on the camera. So with the flat end of the die, I'm just going to tap it down. And as you can see, that come out lovely. So it'll just fall out. And that's how easy they've been coming out. And that was cut on my Grand Caliber as well, not on Gemini. How Donna was cooking.
No,
Sarah.
she put these pixie powder.
Yeah, they are pixie powders, Sarah. Sarah came a bit late, so she probably didn't see the pixie powders. So the background was done with pixie powders, and I'm going to be using pixie powders again now in a little while. But that's what the background was done with. So now these are for these die cuts, and I'm actually going to be cutting into 2 of them. And this is what I need to show you. So I'm going to push 2 to the back, and I'm going to take these 2 here. Now these are actually going to be my borders for a round there for the front of the card. Okay, so to do that I need to get rid of the middle. Okay, so how would I do that so it becomes the right size for the card? Well, on the right one you cut in line with the flat line, so you're actually taking it at the back of that flat line there. So if I can show you on there, so there, if I show you up, so I'm just cutting it straight across from there and cutting that off, and then I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to cut it in line with that flat line of the long line that way. So I've now just cut down that flat line there. I'm going to put it over the white card and that flat line there, and I'm also going to cut out the leaves and the roses from within it. So that becomes my one side, and I'm just going to snip down that straight line there and snip all these little leaves and everything away from there. So I'm literally separating that from that and that. Okay, but on the other one I'm going to cut out the flowers from the middle that. And I'm just placing my scissors inside and using the edge of the scissors to go along the edge of the inner line of the frame. And again this way, so that's that one come out, okay. But when I cut this one this time, I actually cut the right hand side at the bottom and at the top left. On this one I'm cutting the bottom left and the top right in exactly the same way. Okay, so I'm cutting now and away and now and away. So you can see I've done them different. Okay, so that is that. Okay, so the side, this bit here is fine, but this side is a bit rough. So what I need you to do then is actually cut up in between the thing and just round that last one off. And I wanted to do that on all 4 pieces because they'll all have a piece like that. So that's actually a little bit of the circle, the scallop, that's not actually there. It's just that piece. So it'll always be on the short edge. If it's not on the short edge, then you cut it somewhere wrong. Which is what I did on my first one. On my first one I had to use them back to front. So if you do cut them both the same and you end up both of them like that, then you'll have to turn 2 of them over so that you're using them back to front. So you'll just have the cut end instead of the non-cut end. Okay. Any questions or anything at the moment? So with these flowers then you can see there's like little, where we just cut them from the frame, there's like little ridges. I'm just going to cut those little bits off. Okay. I'm actually going to cut that last little swirl off there. So I've just cut the swirl off that while it was coming out. So this is it. You can take whatever you want off really, you know, that's down to you. You can just have the flowers, you can take off the little buds and stuff like that. Okay, so that's that, and I'm going to do the same on this one as well. I'm going to cut that very last bud off there. Cut that to the side, clean up the little snippies. So never be afraid to cut into your dies, because that's how you get to use your dies in a lot more ways. Okay, so now I've trimmed those and they, oops, missed a bit there. Yeah, so that's my 2 bits that I've had to cut for the frame, and I'm actually using the flowers as well for the card as well. So I'm just going to get rid of my bits of rubbish. Put that in my little bin. Okay. Right. So I finished with my die brush and that die. So back in its case. Die brush back in there. So I can't finish with thank you yet. The die actually comes in the Crafter's Inspiration magazine, and it's that die there. So it's actually that there, and it comes with a thanks and a U, but you can cut the S off the thanks, so you can do a thank you. So they've added the S onto it, just so that it can be used for both. So you can either do thanks or you can do thank you, as I've used on that card. Okay, but that's the die that comes with the Crafter's Inspiration number 26. Okay, so basically everything apart from pixie powders, inks, spritzers and paper is all that's Everything else has come with the magazine. So all the dies, folders, stamps, everything like that I'm used on there. So I've now got that there. So I'm now ready to stick my corners onto my back of my little card there. Okay, so obviously that is going to be that corner, that is going to be the bottom corner. So you just flip them over. Just flip them over, and then that will actually be your thing like that, which will actually go like that. See? It's upside down. So, and the reason it's upside down is because I now need to take my wet glue, and I'm still in shot. What is, oh yeah, that's that. So that's all I'm doing with this is I'm putting in a bit of wet glue. Some of you might want to put red liner tape, it's entirely up to you, but you've got to go right along the edge, right up to the edge. Because when we go to put one of these corners on, which I will, when we put the corner on, the line actually needs to be on the back of the card. The only thing we'll see on the front is the scallop. So it needs to be right on the edge of that card. And the good thing with wet glue is I can actually push it and get it into place. So I'll actually show you that one. So you can actually see that that's like that, and I can only see the actual scallops on the side. Okay, so I've got that now. I've been moving my fingers around on there. Pick up the next one, do the next corner. So you can slide it on. As you can see, the scallops meet up perfectly on the end there. And I'm going to take my next corner. And that will always happen if you cut your piece of card to 13.5 by 19.5. So I'm just going to go down there. Make sure my line is just on the card. So now you can know why I had to put glue right on the edge of the card. I'm just going to check that. Yeah, just make sure there's no black of the outer line showing. And I can put my last piece on. So I'm actually putting these pieces, so that was the back end of where it was cut, and I'm putting the front end face down. Just overlap. And I moved it, and that's a good thing with wet glue. I can push it back up and put it back on. Push it down. Right, and that is now my 4 little borders all the way around, and the scallop is all the way around. That one's overlapped in the front. Just push that back. So you can see all the scallops all run perfectly without a little gap in between them. Whereas on my first card, I made it a little bit bigger, which meant there was a little bit of a gap on each. So if I show you that one, it's actually got a little gap there and a little gap up there. And that's because this piece was 14 by 20, not 13.5 by 19.5. Okay, so that is that piece done there for now. So I'm going to place that to the side here. Okay, and then what I need to do then, I need to take a piece of watercolor card and take my trimmer. I have to think what I needed then. My brain's not working today. So this die piece is actually sized at just over 7.5, so I'm going to cut a piece of white to 8, and that's just over 10, so 8 by 10.5, and that's centimeters. So that's 8 by 10.5. I do love the sound of a guillotine. Okay, so that's that piece, and my little thing should fit in there with a nice little white border like that. Okay, lovely. Okay, so that's that. So I now need to fit this and this on top of each other because I want a bit of depth, and then I also need to stick these two. So I'm going to put that there and that there, and then these two I need to stick to the front of my card there and there. Okay, so how am I going to do that? Because these are so fine. It's lovely, but it is really fine. So the easiest way I've worked out to do that is I take an acrylic block or a plastic bag. You know, you can use a plastic bag that's come out of your things. But I use acrylic block because it's easy to clean. And then I'm going to take a thin PVA glue. So this is the high-tack PVA glue, but it's the thinner version, and it is on the link. Okay, and I'm going to take some sort of sponge. So this could be your finger daubers, you know, your ones you put on your fingers. It could be the ones with the wooden handles. It could be any of your distressing tools. It could be an egg, a smoothie, and or it could be one of these if you've got one of these, because these are some of the older ones. Okay, so you can use any of them. And that's all I do is take a scrap bit of paper. So this is just rubbish copy paper, and you can see it's all shiny because that's what I used on the last time. The glue's all dried now, so I can reuse and reuse and reuse that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this bit first, turn it over, so I'm using the back. I'm going to put my glue. You can see it's a nice sort of runny glue.
It's YouTube music. Download the app today and get a trial of music premium on us. Restrictions apply.
Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to dab my smoothie into that, hold my piece of dye down, just tap over the top. And don't forget, glue will dry a bit quick, so you have got to be a bit brisk with this. So as soon as that's done, I'm going to pick it up, take it to my card, place it where I want it, gently, and then squash my hand over the top like that. And that's that one done. Okay, and then I'm not going to work on that piece. I'm going to come to a dry piece here, and I'm going to glue this piece up as well, because if I went back down on there, I'd be putting this piece onto a wet bit of paper, which means it would actually stick to the paper and then I wouldn't get it off. Bit more glue, but it's a good way of doing it. So I know some people will have a fine nozzle, the little fine nozzle glues, but trust me, if you've got a lot to do like this, by the time you get around, probably the first bit you put on probably would have already been dry. So this is a quick way of doing it. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to place that there. Just pop it down, push it down roughly, and then take my arm, And that's that there. Now, oh look, there's a shame. I've got a piece here that's coming up, look. So you can see it's just sticking out. Ah, what a shame. So what I do with that, if I ever get anything like that, I take a very fine brush, rub it into the glue that's on my block, put my finger on top of the piece and rub the brush underneath. And then I can push that down and that sticks that there. And then I can put that then into water and just give it a bit of a wash and wipe it on a kitchen towel. So that's that bit done. Yes, you can use stick and stay, but again, when you spray the first one, don't put your, so if I put that down there and I've sprayed it, Deborah, and, oh, Helen, sorry. If I spray that and then fit that onto my piece of card, like that, and then I want to spray the other one to do a second layer, don't put it on the same bit of card. So just cut your pieces of card in half or whatever and just put a new piece down every time you're going to spray, because otherwise that's going to start sticking to your paper. Okay, and that's why I've moved my piece from there to there when I'm doing the glue. I hope that answers your question, Helen. Right, so this again is watercolour card there, that little piece that I cut. So I'm now going to put some glue on my mats, on my glass there. And it could be a glass mat. If you're working on a glass mat, you could put your glue on a glass mat, it'll wash off after, and if it dries too much so you can't wash off your water, then you just scrape it when it's dry. So I'm just going to go around this now, making sure I get all the flowery parts really down, because I really need to get that stuck, because it's the flower parts I'm going to be watercolouring inside of. And then get around the frame, put that there. And again, if you do have bits sticking up, so bring that in a bit. I know that was right to the edge of the card there. With stick and stay, you probably wouldn't have to worry about messing around too much with this, because once I put this down in place, it's going to stick much quicker than stick and stay. There we are, done. And I do find that this this high-tack glue stuff, if you do have a bit that goes on the top, if you rub it, it comes off a bit like the all-purpose. So it is quite a good glue actually, and we've got the 4 different types of this. This is the cheapest one because it's the thinner version of it. So I'm just going to put a bit more on there. Yeah, I think this one's $1.95, I think, but you'll find out on our website anyway. So I'm going to put this on a different piece of card. And again, if I happen to miss any parts when I put it on my card and I find it lifting, I can just take that brush again, go over it. I know that I've done it. Okay, so you can see it's sticking there already because the glue's gone under a bit. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove that out of my way, bring that in, I'll line it up on the corner, make sure the top scallops are in line. Oh no, my hand is probably in the way. I'm just making those top scallops line up, then those scallops down the side there, and then when I push that down like that, then it should all fall in place. Okay. These little leaves here, because they're so fine, you will find that they will move sometimes, but just push them down. And that is now a double height die cut, and it gives more of a lip. So if I wanted to use sort of I don't know, anything really. I mean, if I was doing this on acetate, I could use glass paints. So that's that piece there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask Gavin to just swirl my sponge under the tap and just to get the glue off that. Thank you, Gavin. And my acrylic block, I'm literally just going to spray it with some water, take a bit of kitchen towel and wipe that glue off. I'll literally just go to a clean side of the kitchen towel, give it a rub, and that's no longer sticky. Okay, and then I can wipe the water from there, from where I just spritzed it. Okay, thank you, Gavin. So that is that, and I've stuck them two onto there. Any more questions? And how is everybody enjoying it? So, as I said earlier, all these colours in here are all pixie powders. Now, there are numerous pixie powder colours, and I know we've only got a few in the shop at the moment, but we can order more as well. Okay, so if there's any of these colours, so the teal wash is what I've done this rose in and used on the background. The scarlet mist is what I've used on here. The teal wash and the sun yellow is what I've used to do the greens. I've mixed a bit of each of them together and made a green, which is the same green that's in the little leaves here. Okay, and then I've got, in the background, I've got the white pearl, which is what I've spritzed in the background of that, which is what you can see, and that's the same on that one. Okay, and there is a sheen on the red and there's a sheen on the teal in there as well, because it is mica. So if you've placed an order this week, is it from this week? If you've placed an order from this week, we're going to put, when we go in on Monday, we're going to put all the orders slips that we print off into a box, and we're going to randomly move our fingers around like this, and we're going to pick out a receipt from one of your orders, and whoever's orders that is, there may be one or two of these cards going into those orders, and also there was some from Tuesday's live with Gavin, and they may be coming out to some of you as well. So this is going to be completely random, and we're going to be looking to do that maybe every Monday, because straight after Monday we do a live on a Tuesday, we do it on a Friday, so we'll have two lots of things, and then that'll come out to you. Okay, so you may be a lucky winner of one of them. Okay, so I've got my washes, and these are powder, so I'll just threw some in like that, added some water to it. So I didn't use a spritzer to add water into it, I actually poured a little bit of water in. Okay, because if you use a spritzer, then the powder goes and flies everywhere. Yeah, they are really good. I need red, yellow and turquoise, please. Stone. Are you on about this red? Because this is Scarlet Mist, but I think there is a red as well in the pixie powders. But this is the Scarlet Mist. But I mean, you can do them light like a pink, which is what the background is come out as, or you can do them dark, so they do come out a bit darker as well.
I'll have to put all the colours on the website later.
Gavin will have to put all the colours on the website later, and then you can, if you want it, you can actually click the button that says...
I know you can actually tell us which one.
All right. Gavin will put all the colours on later on the website, and then you can go on there and you can have a look at the colours, and then you can email us or with the names of the actual colours you want. Okay, Dawn? And that's to do with everybody else as well. Okay? But the sun yellow is the nice yellow, and the turquoise, are you on about the tealy one? But we'll, like I said, we'll put the colours on the website later, and then you can let us know which ones they are. So I want to do my rose in yellow this time, and I want to make sure that I've got a really, the more powder you mix, the more mica-y it'll be. It doesn't come out just tap the bottom, just shaking it like a red sauce. Tap it on the bottom like that. All right. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a brush and I'm going to mix that all in there. So that is really, really full of mica now. Okay. Don't know if you can see that from there, but you can really see the mica in that. Okay. And I want to do these roses nice and bright. So I'm going to take my water. I'm going to take a bigger water brush. I'm just going to tip the water with that and go in and just wet a panel. Take my yellow, start at the bottom, and just leave that bottom bit like that. Okay, so literally I'm just wetting my panels that I want to colour. And where I want the darker bit to be, I'm just putting the yellow into that now. Bless him. It's alright, it's not COVID. It's just Gavin. Alright, so I'm just going to put that there. I'm going to move that away so you can see a bit more. So I've actually wetted already, and that. So I'm just going in the area where I want the shading to be more. Okay, so that's that one. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean our brush, and then I'm going to go in over the edge and start spreading that colour out from the edge of the darkness. Just spreading it up. So basically then you keep that nice dark area down the bottom. There's loads of mica in these, so you will get that sheen on the colours as well. And again, if you don't want to use micas, you could actually just use your watercolour brushes, your fills watercolour brushes, so you can do these backgrounds like that. So you know, there's all sorts of different ways you can do that. Okay, so I'm just moving the ink again right into the edges, and by doing the double layer of the black, yeah, I think you have got a mould on, I think, haven't you? I know you did invest in a lot of the pixie powders, Donna, a few years back when we first got them in, I think. So as you can see, I'm just dragging that colour up. You can leave a little bit of white on the edge if you want to, but you do get a nice little blend of colours. So you use your watercolour, your pixie powders like a watercolour. So if you haven't got pixie powders and you've got the Phil Martin watercolour brushes, then you can use them. Who's to say you can't? You utilise whatever you have, and if you use Phil Martin's watercolour brushes and you've got a clear overlay sparkle pen, which we have in stock, which is on our website now, which Donna knows because she bought 2 yesterday, you can, so you can see then. Okay, so that's that. So what I'm going to do again is I'm going to come on this rose here. And you always have to keep swirling your water around with the mica in, or it doesn't actually pick up the mica all the time, because the mica does drop rather quickly. Okay. Okay, so that's now my roses. I got loads and loads of mica on them. If I want them a bit brighter on the bottom, just go in. So you can't add more, you can always add. It's harder to take away. But if I did want to take away, I just wet the area I want to take it away from, and then put some, and then dab a bit of kitchen towel over the top, and it'll actually lift some of the colour out as well. There we are, done. So that's my nice little yellow roses coloured. You can see it has got a bit of a sheen to them as well. Okay, if I wanted if I wanted to bring some more colour into them, which I'm not going to, but if I wanted to, I could add, so this is all hard, the red, the pink, it's not coming off at all. If I wanted to, I could add a little bit of pink into that bottom of the yellow and turn them orange. Okay, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to. So I'm just going to take my brush, my big brush, and I want to wet this area here on the outside. I'm just wetting all that area, and I'm going to take my, what shall I take? I think I'll take my gold. So I'm just giving it a quick wash. Okay, and this is gold mica, so this is rich gold. So it doesn't look very rich at the moment, but then that's because I am not putting it really deep. I'm just going in between, so it's got a bit of colour as the background. So for those who have done the shaving foam technique, you can use your mica powders in a shaving foam technique as well. So now that's got a nice little creamy background, so that's lovely. And then I want to do my little leaves. So my little leaves, I put a little bit of teal wash and some sun yellow, mixed them together, and I ended up with this lovely sort of emerald Christmas greens. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And you don't use a lot of it at all, just swirl it around, get more micas. If I wanted that to be much more vibrant, I'd add more blue in there and more yellow in it and make it more like a paint. I can mix them till they're really thick. So there we are, so that's my little green leaves. Okay, and if I wanted to, I could take the green leaves and do these little green leaves outside here as well, which I might do on this one actually, because I haven't done it on the other one. So let's change it up a bit. There's nothing to say that you can't colour what's on there. It's all watercolour card, and that just brings out a little bit of green then from the inner image. So don't forget, if you place an order this week, ready for store pickup or delivery on Monday, or for us to go in to sort on Monday, you're in for a chance of getting one of these cards. Just have to do a pick and mix and decide which ones we're going to send out. So I'll have to keep one as a sample to put in the shop, but then we'll decide on which ones are going to come out Okay, so as you can see, I put a little bit of green now in those leaves, and I'm just going to leave that background as that is. I've now got this. So this will be one of the ones coming out to you as well, from a lucky dip. So this will be one of them that'll come out on Monday to one of you either picking up. So this will be for pickup or delivery. Okay. Thank you, Gabby. Okay, but you can see there's loads of mica on that yellow there. It's all shimmery. It's lovely. Okay. After watching Phil, think I'll be putting another order in next week. Yeah, I know you got loads of the pixie powders, Gainer. Oh, I forgot what to do with them. Yeah, you can also spritz your card and just tap the pixie powders on, then spritz it again, they'll colour out, and then you'll get a really vibrant background as well. Or you can just put the dry powder down onto a dry piece of card and then spritz them, and then you can dry them as quick as you want. Or you can put two pieces of card together after you've spritzed it, put the other piece on top, and then get two pulls from it. So yeah, so it's very, very good. So we've now got, after watching Phil, yeah. Hello, Leanne. How are you? I haven't seen you for ages. So these are the cards I'm doing at the moment, Leanne. So I've done the teal one, done the scarlet mist, and I'm now doing a sun yellow version of it as well. Thank you, Leanne. So I'm sure you all know that Leanne that's commenting at the moment is part of Crafter's Companion, who does a lot of the sorting out of all sorts of testing and getting the best product you can. Isn't that right, Leanne? Hyping you up now. And she's a lovely, lovely lady. Met her a few times, so she's lovely. So now we've done this piece and that piece. I'm going to put some foam pads on this bit. I'm going to flip it over. Take that off. I'm going to fit this on the card end so that I'm ready to put the last pieces to it. Ooh, where shall I put it? I think I'm going to go to the top on this one. No, I'm going to go in the centre. Because I would know from the Herringbone Embossing foam, I've got 1, 2, 3 lines. I go 1, 2, 3 lines, so I can actually centralise it perfectly like that. Oh yes, it's well known, the banana cake. I did some of it last week actually, and I added a handful of I think it was raisins into it as well, or currants. A nice big handful of them, and it was absolutely lovely. So there we are. So that is that one there, and I'm going to fit that onto my base card while I'm still here, and I'm using my Super Duper all-purpose claw. So this is a watercolor piece of card that I'd actually used as messing with colours on the back, and that's why it's messy. And then I've just cut the frame from around the die and just stuck it on there. So that's there. And then I'm going to cut the thank you. So I'm now going to take the thank you, the thanks and you, and I've taped them together. Okay. And I'm actually going to put them on to a nice piece of card. Now, a lot of you might not have seen one of these machines, and I know Crafter's Companion actually does the, I think it's the Gemini Go now, is it? I think
Gemini Mini, they do.
Gemini Mini, is it? Right, so I'm just going through there. So I don't know if the Gemini Mini is a little bit wider than this one. Not sure. This is what I've got, so just to do, and that's what I'm doing, I'm just tapping the back of the die on the machine, and the thanks you is coming out. That's that one. And I've got 3 little pieces of black here, so I'm actually just going to cut 3 of them. You can use your Geminis as well and put it right up the front of your plate, let it go through and reverse it back. That's another thanks and another you. That's that one done. Some of the people that come to my classes would agree with you on the banana cake as well, Leanne. Because when I do have time, I do banana cake to actually go out to the shop when I do classes, but obviously I haven't been able to do that for a good while. There we are. Oh, that's that one. That's that one. So I go. Are we giving out slices of banana cakes with the pickups? Hey, that might be a way of getting more sales, isn't it? Offer my banana cake with a pickup. Yeah, that would work really well, Sarah. Good idea. I haven't got enough bananas at the moment though. No ones that are going off anyway. So as you can see, I've got 1, 2, 3 thanks, and I've got 3 U's. Bottom of that U has gone a little bit there, but that's not a problem. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of glue. Just going to spread it on the back of my hand. For people who can't do this because they have allergies and stuff like that, use your acrylic block. Put a little bit of glue on your acrylic block and then just tap it on the end of your acrylic block like that. It works just the same. You could use the sponge thing, but they're a bit small for that. That's all you do, just line up the T. Push it together. That's number 2 together. It's a good wax as well, this. Won't take the ears off your hands. It really does work with me. So I've thickened the actual sentiment now with the thanks anyway. So that's 3 times thick now, so that's a lot firmer. And because I wanted to say thank you, I'm just going to take my scissors into the S bit there. I'm just going to cut in like that. There we are. So now the S is gone. So now I've only got a thank. No problem, Alison. You watch it when you can. That's why we record. That's why they recorded the lives, and that's why we also put them on our YouTube channel as well. That's why we always put them on our Valleycraft YouTube channel, so that people can actually go back and watch them while they're there. So that's my thank, and then with the U, I'm going to take the one that is full, not missing the bottom of the Y. I'm just going to place that on the one. It could be a bit fiddly with the smaller letters, but it really does work. And because the sentiment is a lot thicker, it's easier to handle after. So I'm just going to put that on top of that one. It's easier when your fingers are not so sticky as well. Once you've done a couple, you know, get a bit more glue on your fingers. So there we are. So now I've got a U which is nice and thick as well. A little bit more glue on my hand. Just a tiny amount because I only want to stick that on. So that is the thank you. And then I need to do some finishing touches. And then I'm going to show you then how to use your inks to do the backgrounds as well, and how to colour with them. So, right, so I've just moved that out of my way. Let's get my gems. So I think we'll have some the yellow cream. So I have got some real, too much I think. So I think I may use some, so I've got lots of gems and I've got lots of containers that you hold them all. I'm wondering about using some creamy ones so that it doesn't overtake from the yellow. Just to add a little bit there. Or shall I use yellow ones like that? I'm going to give you the options now and I'm going to wait for some replies in to decide which way I'm actually going to go with these colours. So, do you think I should go with the lighter creamy ones, or with the brighter, darker? Yes, Janice, we've had your 2 orders, thank you. Yellow, are these ones? The bottom ones. Yellow, yep, the bottom ones. Marvellous, I've got 2 yellows so far. Any more takers? Hi Jackie. Yeah, definitely yellow. Right, okay. So I've got them. So let's tip out some of my gems then. Hey, look at this. Lovely. Ooh. Ooh, I've just found a yellow. Ooh, now. Didn't realise I had them ones. Ah. I think the brighter yellows though. No, green. Ooh. Don't know if green would go. I got green but not in pearls, that's the problem. I've only got them in gems. Well, I could use black. Black ones. Oh, see? So I could even use black. I think that takes away, does it? The dark yellow. Yeah. And green, let's have a look with the green. The only greens I've got are the gems. So I've got those otherwise. Dark yellow, yeah. We go for the dark yellow then? Yeah, let's go for it. Right, okie dokie. So I've got to find another 3. There's 1. You're lucky you chose a dark yellow, look. Because now I can find them easy. So I am thinking that next Friday it'll be an actual craft along. So is there anything that somebody has? Yeah, they are really good when you build up the layers, Carolyn. Really, really nice. Pixie powders, they can be quite bright as well. It's just getting the right amount with the pixie powder, so you would lose any mica when you put it with the shaving foam. The shaving foam actually takes away the mica. So I mean, you could do a shaving foam background, take that off, and then just spritz your micas or your pixie powders on a glass mat, and then just pick your card up and down on it, and then you'll get that on top of your shaving foam. So that's another way of using it. Right, so I'm going to put these on. So that's all I do with this. This glue actually drops out like a little droplet. And if I wanted to, I could leave those and they would dry clear as well. And they would hold their shape. So this is a really good glue, to be honest with you. The thicker ones hold their shape a lot more as well. So you can actually put them in the middle of flowers. You can make a drop like that. Put them in the middle of your flowers and add glitter to them. So that's them 3. So there we are. So that is that one. So just to show you, you can completely change it. This happy birthday sentiment was from the last creative stamping magazine, which we've been told is going to be, the next one is going to be a little delayed because of how things are going. So it's going to be a little later on. So you're not going to get another one of them for a while. But as you can see, that's those 3 there. Okay. So that's the 3 made from exactly the same dies, used in exactly the same sort of ways, just with different colours. Yay, lots of love. And it's all Gavin. Oh, there's a bit of Deborah in as well. Oh, look at that. So yeah, so they are the cards that I've actually made from the thing. I told you I would show you how to do a background with the card using your inks as well. So again, watercolor card. I'll just show you with a little strip of it actually. So watercolor card, if you want to use your inks, and especially if you've got little ink pads like dewdrops, just splatter some colours down. Splatter some colours down like that. Just making sure I'm not putting any of the lighter colours onto the darker colours. I have there a bit. That won't show through. Just sort it out a bit. That's fine. That's that. And then what you do, you just, So if you've literally got a clear mica or stuff like that, or gold mica powder or stuff like that, you know, if you've got the old mica powders or just one of these, like a white pearl or a rich gold, you can put a little bit in a spritzer bottle and you can just do that. Okay, and that will mix in with it. Oh, I'll do this big piece, and I know Gavin didn't like how that came out on there. That's all I can do. I can just dab that into there, then lift it up, and I end up with a nice background like that, and I can just keep going in and touching it. Okay, you can dry it. So if you don't quite like what you got there, dry it first, which will actually fix what you got there. So this is the thing, if you're not quite happy with the first pull, dry it. Just once you dry it, it'll take over the top of it then. They won't mix and blend into each other. Okay, so you can do that. That's that bit. And then you can go back in and you can start picking up more colours. And you can try it again. So don't be afraid to actually have a play, do your backgrounds. And then once that is done there, and I know Gavin wasn't very happy with the girl on the other side, but if I wipe her into all this now, that'll be really nice as well. So that's looking rather like a lovely little background. It's got all sorts of different colours on there. I like the fact it's got runs on it. You can stamp on it, stamp your flowers on there, die cut them out. Okay, but there you are, you've got that lady there, so she's under the sea, so I'm just going to dab her in the blue and the green. And then get some colour around her. And that's quite sea sort of thing then. And then once I dry her, I'm actually going to show you how to watercolour with your ink pads as well. And then, so I'm going to, this is the time that if you have any questions on the card we've done, this is the time I'd like you to ask, because then this is just showing something else while we've got. Thank you, Leanne. I really do like these 3 cards that we've done. You should know, you should recognise the stamp as well, Leanne. I think these are one of Crafter's companion ones from Molly Harrison or something. That's what this one is. Gavin did do a watercolouring one on this a while back on a live, which is still on our website as well. So if you wanted to colour this and you didn't have pixie powders, you could actually use just your ink pads. So as long as they're dye-based ink pads or opaque, you can actually just take a brush, dip it in water, and paint over. Okay, so don't be afraid to actually take you could even put your ink down like that, use your sparkle overlay pen and pick up that colour and just do that as well. Okay, just quickly show you that. So you can see then that that's got a little bit of shimmer on there, and you can start colouring as well. So that's with any ink pad that is dye based, so the water reactive or the opaque pigment, or your dewdrop ink pads, or any sort of inks like that really. Okay, and that's what I want. That is all for today, I think. But I just wanted you to see that your backgrounds can be made with anything, with your ink pads, with ink droppers. You could even colour your cards with food colouring. So if you haven't got a colour in that, please use your food colouring. Put a tiny little drop in a little mixer or something like that. Add some water to it and you can colour with them as well. Okay, so yes, or simply gold, yes. So there we are, different background. So that is literally doing the 3 cards now that we've done. I've showed you the yellow version today, but it was all done in exactly the same way, doing the pink one or the teal one. And that was using the Crafter's Inspiration issue 26, which you can order on our website. Okay, and there's numerous ideas of what to do with what you get in there. And again, just to reiterate what you get, you get a load of stamps. Let's put that on there. So let's have a look. Let's get that. Get a little girl, little balloons that I've used on the card, a little handbag, a little birthday cake, a little parcel, little flowers, a couple of little hearts, a solid one and an open one, and then you've got some little words: to, for, Pixie Bird, mean, miss, love, bless, thank, with love. All I can say is a great big happy birthday for your kindness, everything. So you can make up little tiny sentiments to go, which will fit in these little things here. Right, so all the pixie powders are now on the website. So there's a little link at the bottom there now, which says the pixie powders are all on our website now. So if there's any, you can go there, look at the colours, see what's there, let us know what colours you want, and then we can actually make, because I know we do need to do an order with our company. So yes, so if you need anything, just let us know. So thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you for joining us as well, Leanne. It's lovely to speak to you again. We never know when we'll see you again with everything that's going on. But yes, so that's my take on using the products from the Crafter's Inspiration issue 26, which is now in our store. Okay, so please go and order. Enjoy your day, enjoy the sun. Please look after yourself, keep your distance, keep well, and we'll see you soon. Big hug and kisses. Mwah. Thank you, Caroline. Bye.